Ace for Alex Eala, now ranked world number 49. The main draw of the Australian Open hasn't started yet, but Alex Eala has already set another milestone in her career. Fresh off her semi-final finish in the Auckland Open last week, the 20-year-old Rafael Nadal Academy alumnus reached a new career best rank of number 49 in the Women's Tennis Association, WTA, making another explosive statement to her growing legend. Aryna Sabalenka remains the best tennis player in the world as she defeated Marta Kostyuk 6-4, 6-3 for the Brisbane Open title over the weekend. Iga Swiatek of Poland, whom Eala defeated in the Miami Open last March, remains at number 2, while Eala's former tennis partner Coco Gauff of the United States rose to number 3. Iva Jovic, who joined forces with Eala in the Auckland Classic, jumped to number 30 despite losing to eventual champion Alina Svitolina of Ukraine, now sitting at number 12, 6-7, 2-6, in the Auckland Open semis last week. Looking back on her career from 2025, Eala, whose previous best was at number 50, has nothing but gratitude to those who helped her, as she is now one of the hottest names in tennis alongside Jovic and world number 8 Mira Andreeva of Russia. The past year reminded me how powerful love, support, and community can be. Now, I'm excited for what this new year brings: new goals to chase, new memories to create, and more meaningful moments to share with the people I love, Eala posted on her social media. This year is about being braver, dreaming bigger, loving harder, and doing more for the people and passions that matter most. In an interview with Tennis 365, Eala stressed she can't be complacent despite her newfound recognition, where she is one of the young talents like Andreeva and Jovic. I think I have done a good job and my team has done a good job of dealing with everything that happened after Miami, Eala said. For sure, it gave me a lot of confidence to know that my level is there to play against the top players, but I know there is a lot more for me to do before I can be there consistently. The coming weeks will be crucial in Eala's growth and career, as her Australian Open run will determine how she will cap the first month of 2026. Making it past at least the second round of the first Grand Slam of the year will not only eclipse her first-round US Open triumph over Clara Tauson of Denmark last August, but will also propel her upwards in the WTA rankings again. Meanwhile, an early exit wouldn't necessarily mean a failure in Eala's campaign, as she will pocket at least $101,076, $5.9 million, and some precious ranking points. It also means she will come home to Manila to compete in the Philippine Women's Open on January 26, as familiar foes aim to take her down in her own backyard. Stars like former world number 17 and Olympic silver medalist Dana Vekic of Croatia, number 45 Tatiana Maria of Germany, as well as number 57 Wang Xinyu of China, number 66 Solana Sierra of Argentina, number 90 Lulu Sun of New Zealand, and number 94 Moyuka Yukijima of Japan all want to test their mettle against Eala and the loud Filipino crowd cheering her on. Philippine Sports Commission (PSC) Chairman Patrick Pato Gregorio said they and the Philippine Tennis Association (PhilTA) are hard at work to make sure both players and fans will have nothing but the best once the competition starts. Gregorio even extended the invitation to President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and First Lady Liza Marcos to be part of this historic tournament. We invited the President and First Lady, and we hope they will be available because we will be able to show the fruits of his trust in Philippine sports and National Sports Tourism Interagency Committee, Gregorio said. We didn't have a holiday break. No Christmas, no New Year vacation for PSC and PhilTA. We really rushed the development and rehabilitation of the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex and the tennis courts. Ace for Alex. The ball rose into the air like a small, obedient moon. For a fraction of a second, the stadium forgot how to breathe. Alex Eala's eyes followed the toss. Not hurried, not hopeful, just certain. Years of mornings that began before sunrise lived in that upward gaze. Years of blisters split and healed again. Years of being the girl from a tropical country who dared to believe she belonged on the world's hardest courts. World number 49. The number hovered in the background of the moment, bright and impossible, like a star you only notice once you realize it has always been there. Alex bent her knees. This was match point. This was not practice in Manila, where the heat wrapped around her like a second skin and the walls of the court echoed with childhood dreams. This was not a junior final where nerves shook her arm and victory felt like borrowed courage. This was the professional stage, where rankings were currency and belief had to be earned daily. The racket came up, smooth as a thought finally understood. And then, she exploded upward. The sound of contact cracked through the air. Final. Unarguable. The ball kissed the line and vanished past her opponent, who didn't even turn. The crowd erupted, but Alex didn't scream. She didn't fall to her knees. She stood still, chest rising, eyes closing for a heartbeat longer than necessary. Because in that heartbeat lived everything. An ace is just 1 point on the scoreboard. Statistically forgettable. But for Alex Eala, this ace was a sentence written at the end of a long, unfinished paragraph. Once she had been a promise. The posters called her the future of Philippine tennis. The headlines followed her junior titles, her Grand Slam trophies in youth categories, her scholarship far from home. Promise is a beautiful word, but it is also heavy. It sits on young shoulders and asks questions no teenager is ready to answer. What if you don't become what they expect? What if talent is not enough? What if the world is faster, stronger, louder than your dreams? There were matches when the answer felt dangerously close to yes. Losses that arrived in clusters. First-round exits that bruised confidence more than muscles. Rankings that moved backward when she had worked so hard just to stand still. On tour, nobody waits for you to figure yourself out. The locker rooms are full of players who were once prodigies too. Alex learned that professionalism is not glamorous. It is lonely. It is hotel rooms that blur together, meals eaten alone, birthdays missed. It is losing in places where no one knows your name and winning in silence because the next match is already calling. But still she served. Serve after serve, day after day, adjusting grips, adjusting expectations, adjusting herself. This ace, was not just power. It was placement, precision, a decision made before doubt could interfere. It was the kind of serve you hit when you are no longer asking permission. As the umpire called, game, set, match, Alex turned toward her box. There were smiles there, yes, but also relief, and pride, and something quieter, recognition. You are becoming. Ranked 49th in the world. 48 players ahead of her. Thousands behind. The number mattered, not because it was a ceiling but because it was proof. Proof that a Filipina could rise in a sport that often forgets where Southeast Asia is on the map. Proof that discipline can outlast hype.